We, the people, are mad as hell, and we ain't backing down. Welcome into the free-range human show of choice, your daily dose of reality radio. This is the Clay Edwards Show. I am, of course, Clay Edwards, and I finally found a clean version of Kid Rock's We the People. Been wanting to play that on here for a while, but the original version, every other word is not radio-friendly, as we'll say. That's what I started saying last night. Look, regardless of what happens, I think that we, the people, have shown that we're mad. We're tired of this nonsense. We're tired of people going to Washington, D.C. and not representing Mississippi. You know, I understand there's a bunch of old school conservatives. That's about the most polite way I can say it. That think we should be in Ukraine and sending a ton of money to Ukraine. I mean, one war ends, another begins. The machine's got to keep rolling. I get it. Yeah, I don't. I don't. I'm really about to take the gloves off. I don't get it, honestly. We've seen that this doesn't work for us. But neither here nor there. As aggravated as I am about sending billions upon billions upon, let me rephrase it, hundreds of billions upon hundreds of billions to Ukraine so they can launder the money back to the military-industrial complex and launder it for these politicians. January 6th is a thorn in my side that'll never come out until we make it the new 4th of July. It needs to be a national holiday. We can make Juneteenth a holiday. January 6th needs to be a new national holiday. We should all get that day off work. Hell, we should get a bonus for that day. All those prisoners need to be released. We need to rename schools after them, put statues on every corner, rename streets. There should be an Ashley Babbitt High School, junior high, whatever. Ashley Babbitt Boulevard, Highway Babbitt, all that. January 6th was a crossing the Rubicon moment for this country. We cannot ever turn back. I'll never forget a lot of the quote-unquote right-wing content creators on YouTube and stuff got right on there. People I'd followed for a couple of years got right on there and said, oh, this is the worst day in America's history. The worst day in American history. Some dudes draped some Trump flags over the side of the building and busted out a window or two. I mean, I'm old enough to remember 9/11. The worst day in American history. You know, I would guess prior to 9/11, depending on your generation or how old you are, you could say, I don't know, Pearl Harbor, President Kennedy being killed in Dallas. You know, I can think of a lot worse incidents. I don't consider this a bad incident. I just don't. I was sitting in my desk at office, sitting in my chair at my desk in my office at work, screaming, "Burn it all down!" I do not care. I do not care. I'm not happy with what's going on in Washington, D.C. You know, I'll be the first person to tell you that Mississippi, or Jackson, Mississippi, nobody should pay to fix Jackson's problems but Jackson. But good Lord, if we're going to send $100 billion to Ukraine, maybe $1 billion to fix the water in Jackson, you could probably get me on board. I'm just saying. Yeah, you know, if we're going to fix the nonsense in a third world country that has nothing to do with us, well, I don't know, Ukraine's not really a third world country. Well, I guess it is by the time Pootie Poo gets through with it. We can fix the water in Jackson. That's all I'm saying. All right, look, if you want to chime in on any of this stuff this morning, the Mac Hike of Flowwood phone line is 601-879-0002. If you want to text, the Guns and Gear text line is 769-241-1944. And on the Guns and Gear text line, I believe this is Miss Sylvia text in and says that that is a great album. The Kid Rock album is a great album. And I agree. The Bad Reputation is a great album. All right, man, let's just jump straight in here, man. We have got a caller here on the Matt Kike Flowwood phone line. Hey, caller, you're on there.
Good morning, Clay. This is Debbie. How are you today?
Hey, Debbie, I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm great. I just want to tell everybody in the city of Flora how much we appreciated the way that they all handled and conducted themselves at polls that we worked yesterday. They were the nicest group of people that I've ever really worked at serving during an election. I know it was a pretty slow turnout. You had 1,600 people registered at that particular poll. We had 217 people show up to vote. And Michael Cassidy won that precinct. And for that, I'm very grateful. And I just hope that with there being a runoff planned, that all of the people in Florida come back out and support Michael Cassidy in the runoff.
Yeah, the strategy is going to be interesting, and I'm speaking outside of Florida here, but the strategy will be interesting to see if the GOP Rhino machine will implore the vote of the Democrat to get out and try to beat Cassidy. So I'm interested to see how this is going to play out. Of course, it's not officially going to a runoff yet. We'll find out here this morning, I hope. But right now, Cassidy's sitting there with a lead over Guest. And doesn't look like either one of them is going to get to 50%. So we shall see. Debbie, I appreciate you calling in, and thank you for working the polls yesterday. We need more great Americans like that.
Well, thank you. And I'm going to tell you, though, now yesterday I did notice there were some people that I would have naturally assumed were Democrats that came in and voted. Some of them voiced opinions towards Guest and some towards Cassidy. So we just have to stand firm, and we all have to get back out and vote. Because Michael Guest is going after Cassidy now because he just realized he's not untouchable, and he's accusing Michael Cassidy's campaign of lying towards some of the decisions and votes that he's made while he's been in Congress. And we've got to believe who's right, and we've got to. I like the commercial that says vote for the right Mike, and we've got to stand firm with it. I can't even vote for him, but I do hope that people in his congressional district come together and put the right person in Congress this time.
Yeah, absolutely. Debbie, thank you.
All right. Have a good day, Clay.
Bye-bye. Yeah. Look, man, I don't care about a lot of this other stuff they're going back and forth on. January 6th in Ukraine and the money to Ukraine. Those are the things I care about. All right, we got another caller here on the Matt Kike Flowwood phone line. Hey, caller, you're on there.
Yeah.
Hey, I can hear you.
Hey, man, listen, like I said, he pulled out of here, and, I'm grateful for it. And to go along the point, talking about accusing us of lying, let's just say, for instance, that's true. You still didn't, at the breakfasts, address the Ukraine thing or the January 6th commission vote.
Exactly. Man, I think, and again, I like Mr. Guest. He's been very polite the times I met him. This is not an attack. I'm not going to attack the man. I'm not going to sit here and talk bad about him. I'm strictly just going to talk about the vote. A simple, hey, I screwed up. I wouldn't do it again. Given the information I have today, I wouldn't make that same vote again. And I believe a lot of people would have, at least in my circle, would have been like, okay, that's good for me. I know. Well, let me speak for myself 100%. I would have been like, you know what? That's solid. That's good for me.
Yeah,
but we never got.
I'm not going to run him down. I just wish he would have addressed it, but arrogantly, in my opinion, he didn't.
Yep. I agree. I think he misplayed it. I think maybe just hope it was sit on the back burner and it wasn't that big of a deal to people. And it is a big deal to people.
And I'm gonna reiterate your sentiment, Clay. January 6th was a great day for democracy because dissension is the greatest form of patriotism. And we have the right to address our regresses to Congress. And I keep telling people all the time, this has nothing to do with me blindly following partisan politics. As an IT professional with over 20-plus years of experience, I can tell you that there was something wrong just by looking at the ticker numbers. You know, knowing how computers can be manipulated and how they work, how I can write a simple script to say, if this variable is met, add this or take away that. You know what I mean? It's not rocket science. So you're going to tell me, a person who's been working in government for almost 20-plus years, that the claims are baseless, is simply, you know, peeing on my head and telling me that it's rain.
No, you know, I think that's a lot of it, too. It's like we sat there and we watched the summer of death and destruction by Antifa and BLM, and then we had an election stolen from us. I mean, maybe not in the traditional sense of a stolen election, but they rigged the rules to steal an election, and then they did stuff the ballot boxes. There's no debating that, and that is a traditional, that is old school stealing, stuffing votes, whatever, however you want to look at it. People are mad, man. It's like, I'm tired of being lied to, and I'm tired of being played a fool.
And let's not even forget that they haven't prosecuted a single person in any of these riots that were burning down police stations, setting police cars on fire with Molotov cocktails, took over an entire precinct or anything like that. They haven't prosecuted a single person for that.
You know, and if you want to talk about the federal stuff, because they love to talk about the insurrection and the federal, you know, the federal building and all that, or the House Representative, the Capitol is the word I'm looking for. What about the federal courthouse in Portland that was under siege for a month? Remember the Portland skanks? I mean, moms that were all lined up out front like Operation Human Shield. They're like, oh, it's the Portland moms. Like, I bet they're a bunch of single moms. Neither here nor there. But where's all the people that are they sitting in a gulag? They were trying to burn down a federal courthouse and kill federal law enforcement. Are they in a gulag being held?
Yeah, and the ones that was protesting outside a judge's house, which is a federal offense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Out there intimidating a judge because of the supposed overturn of Roe v. Wade. You didn't send nobody out there to arrest them.
Yeah, hey, you know, and I'm telling you, I don't know if you got the notification yesterday, and then I heard it on our top of the hour news break when I left here yesterday morning. The Department of Homeland Security is issuing a threat level warning for domestic terrorism here in the next couple months, and but then they're talking about conservatives. I don't think conservatives are going to be burning down anything when they overturn Roe versus Wade. Call it a hunch, you know. But anyway, all right, Derek, brother, I appreciate you, man. Thank you for calling in this morning.
Yes, sir.
All right, brother. All right, man. Look, we're going to take a break real quick, and we're going to dive into the Michael Guest, Michael Cassidy stuff, and give my opinion on some things. And I want to discuss a strategy that Michael Cassidy took that I think really paid off for him concerning us right here at WYAB. We'll have all that and more on the other side of the break right here on 103.9 WYAB.
America, you love your country, so it goes without saying that you also love your ride. And Auto Armor in Flowood wants to help you make that ride shine. Auto Armor in Flowood is Central Mississippi's premier automotive detail and ceramic coating shop, servicing any type of vehicle, including ATVs, boats, and more. Need just a quick detail or paint correction? Auto Armor can make it happen. But if you're set to hit the road in a blaze of glory while flying the old red, white, and blue, Auto Armor should be your first and last call to give your ride a full ceramic coating. Auto Armor is locally owned and operated by the loud and proud American patriot Clay Edwards. Auto Armor also proudly backs the blue, all military, and first responders. So don't forget to ask for your discount. Call 601-260-0858. 601-260-0858. Or stop in today, fellow Americans. Auto Armor is located at 4394 Mangum Drive in Flowood. Online at AutoArmorMS.com. Auto Armor, unapologetically American.
Hey, welcome back into the Clay Edwards Show. This segment is going to be brought to you by Raymond Farmers Market. Get out there, open every Tuesday through Sunday, lunch and dinner. And, of course, they got the farmers market there also. I mean, the restaurant is becoming their calling card But they got a great little kind of general store, farmer's market kind of vibe going on in there. All genuine Mississippi produce and vegetables. They sell some seasonings and rubs and marinades and all that kind of stuff too. All local stuff. By popular demand, it actually started this past Thursday, but now Thursday night, they're going to have barbecue. They've been selling it like whole trays of it. You can just come in and buy a whole Boston butt and all that good stuff. Now you can actually sit down and eat barbecue there on Thursday nights, and it looks phenomenal. Friday night, of course, is Catfish Night from Simmons Catfish Farm in Yazoo City, all locally sourced. That's the key here. All of this stuff is locally sourced. So when you support somewhere like Raymond Farmers Market, there's a trickle-down effect where you're supporting all your fellow Mississippians as well. I love that. I mean, being 100 with y'all, as we say in South Jackson. I love that. That's very important to me. It's like January 6th important to me. And then, of course, Saturday night is steak night. They got the 10-ounce filet, the 16-ounce ribeye, and the 3-pound, big enough to feed 3 tomahawk. All right, man. We have got another caller here on the Mac Hike of Flowwood phone line, so I'm going to jump straight into this. Hey, caller, good morning. You're on there.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great. This is Angie, and I just want to say that we need to get out there and get some more voters in for Michael Cassidy in case there's a runoff. I'm praying that there won't be. Looks like it is. But in our little community of Storr, we only have like 189 voters in that community. So we need to get our Cassidy supporters out and start talking to some people.
Yeah, I went and voted in Crossgates for the first time yesterday since I moved from Jackson to Brandon. And, of course, I changed my information at the Secretary of State's office. It did not show up in the computer, so I had to do an affidavit ballot. So my vote hasn't even been counted yet.
Oh, well, see,
so
we're praying that we just, that he can get that 11%. But my daughter-in-law, when she went voted, she lives in the Pearl district, and she said there was only like 86 votes.
Yeah, I'm not sure how many voted there. I hadn't checked this morning. I had to work until about 8 o'clock last night, so I went straight home, did a little bit of online surfing to see what was going on, and then I went to bed. But again, there wasn't very many voters there at the church in Crossgate. Hey, could you turn your radio down?
Okay.
All right, thank you. Yeah, there wasn't very many voters. I walked right in and went straight to the table. There was nobody in front of me. There were people in and out, mind you, but there was zero wait. I think they had 4 voting stations. I'm not sure how anyway, but I want to say real quick, thank you to all the poll workers. God bless y'all. We really do appreciate y'all. I heard some reports of some weird stuff going on here and there. I don't know that I necessarily believe that. I think some of that's just confusion from people. But again, thank you to all the poll workers, and thank you to everybody. And I did just confirm that if there is a runoff election, the runoff will be on June 28th. So that's just a couple of weeks from now. Hopefully everybody can make arrangements to get out there and vote. And let's take this thing home.
Yes. We have to encourage some of our younger voters to get out there, and you can't sit around and complain about it if you're not getting out there and.
Well, here's another thing. The Democrats do this very well. They go and get busloads of seniors, and they activate their senior base too, and they get them to the polls to vote. Hey, conservatives, and look, a lot of y'all may be doing this. I may just be speaking for myself here. Maybe that's something I need to do. But go get your grandmother. Go get your grandfather. If you got a senior that lives in the neighborhood that maybe can't drive anymore, see if they need a ride to the polls. Let's get them all activated too.
That is very true, Clay. We do need to check on our seniors and let them get involved just as much as we get involved.
Yeah. Wouldn't be no us without them.
Exactly. But I just encourage everyone to get out and to vote, and we just need to make some changes in the state of Mississippi.
I agree. Well, look, we appreciate you listening this morning, and thank you for getting out and voting yesterday.
Thank you. Have a blessed day.
You too. Bye-bye. Real quick, we got another caller on the line. I'm going to get to you in just a second, caller. I just want to give an acknowledgement to Mr. Cassidy and his campaign. They went with an old school nightclub promoting strategy where they used WYAB and just went full frontal attack. I think it was a shining light. It was a great opportunity for WYAB because we showed what these hosts here and what this station can bring to the table with the right candidate. Mr. Cassidy went full force on here Monday. My show, Mike's show, Jameson's show, and Kim's show. And I also had him on my show Friday. And I think Kim had him Thursday. I mean, over the last 2 weeks, he hit our listener audience on every show multiple times. I believe I had him 3 times on my show total. So I thought it was a great showing by WYAB. And, of course, when I say WYAB, I'm talking about the listeners, by y'all getting out and supporting. I had people messaging me all day yesterday, people I don't know. Just kind of, when I say random people, I don't mean that as a knock, but random people on social media messaging me, voted for Cassidy, voted for Cassidy, voted for Cassidy. It was a good feeling, man. It was a good feeling to know that the people are listening and that other people are just tired of it. You know, I'm America first. I'm Mississippi first too, and we gotta fix some stuff. All right, we got callers on hold on the Mac Haika Flowwood phone line. Hey, also, real quick, if you want to text in, the Guns and Gear text line 769-241-1944. And we did get an interesting text on the text line from a buddy of mine. Let me pull it back up real quick. It says, in District 3, the counties not reporting yet are Smith and Lincoln. Can't imagine Guest doing any better in those counties than he has in the others. And I do agree. Let's see here. Another one, I believe this was Debbie just saying, thank you. We needed more poll workers. Yep. All right, let's jump into the Mac Haika Flowwood phone line. Hey, caller, you're on there.
Hey, Clay, how you doing this morning?
Hey, brother, I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing fine. I think I want a quick thing, though. I was sitting and watching the news. They said that Michael Guest was up 51-47. Then 5 minutes later, they said he was losing 47-48. Come on now.
Well, you know what ends up.
Well,
hey, look, I jumped in the shower and it was the other way around. It was Cassidy was at 49 and Michael Guest was like at 42 or something like that. I may have my numbers a little wrong, but Cassidy was in the lead. Well, by the time I jumped, I heard my phone over there on the counter vibrating the whole time I was in the shower, and I was like, something's done happened. I get out and I see all these text messages. Are you watching this? Are you watching this? And I guess Rankin County had reported and it had a big dump of votes for Guest. So it flipped to Guest having 51%. And I just went to sleep at that point. I said, I can't stay up and watch this because I got to get up at 5 a.m. But when I got up this morning, it's been stuck where it's at with Cassidy at 47.8 and Guest at 46.6.
So it's a runoff.
Well, that's 88% or 89% of the counties or the precincts being counted. So we got another 10% left, but like I say, it's looking like it's going to be a runoff, but it's not confirmed yet.
So now my thing is, if the runoff do happen between Cassidy and Guest, what all about the Guest people are going to be thinking now? I mean, y'all mad at him because this so-called January 6th vote, but y'all finna kick him out over there, so he gonna be an upset fella. I mean, just think about this is second term now. He tried one for second or third term with this.
Yeah.
So another thing,
he's been there since 2018.
Okay, so how they split the vote? How they redid the district like that? Was some people saying that they put Michael Cassidy in the 2 instead of the 3? So is he gonna be one? So who gonna? Are they gonna be running off against Benny Thompson, the runner, of the runoff?
No, some of those. Okay, and I'm not an expert on this. I kind of piecemealing this together a little bit. Some of those are split districts. Cassidy won't run against Benny. Some of those districts are split somehow or another. Don't get me to lying about that. I don't want to punch above my weight on that. But Cassidy and Guest, if you were able to vote, I guess you can pick which district you vote in those split districts. But I would have to confirm by somebody. But Cassidy or Guest won't run against Benny. No way, no how. I
would say Benny got over 42,000 votes last night. I mean, I mean, he could probably lose either one, but if they got the race against him, that'd be a nice race right there.
Well, that would be interesting, but unfortunately, that's not going to be the case. Benny is going to end up running against. Let's see, District 2 is going into a runoff between. Let's see, I couldn't remember the names. Mr. Eller and Brian Flowers.
Brian Flowers. Okay,
Yep.
well, Brian Flowers, he ain't gonna be. I mean, whoever win between him and Eller, by the time they won against
Benny
in November, he going back to D.C. Benny going back to D.C.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's strong probability, but hey, that's why they play the games, right?
Yeah, like I said, but that was kind of interesting. I mean, I know y'all still mad about the General 6 deal and how Guest voted for that right there, and I guess he can find out who his real, constituency is now.
Well, look, it's like this. The primaries are important. We're going to figure out who we're voting for, but I will vote for Michael Guest against the Democrat. I mean, at the end of the day, when it goes to the general election, if it's Michael Guest, I'll be voting for Guest. But
okay.
I mean, that's just how that rolls with me. All right, brother, I appreciate you, man. Have a blessed one.
You too.
All right, I know we got more callers on hold. We got to take a break. We'll be right back. You're listening to the Clay Edwards Show. If you want to call in, the Mac Haik and Flowwood phone line, 601-879-0002, and the Guns and Gear text line, 769-241-1944. That might be your best route this morning. We'll be right back on 103.9. The Edwards Show. This segment's going to be brought to you by my dear friend, Miss Kimberly Harrelson, right over there at Next Home Realty. Look, if you're looking to move to or from the Jackson area, Kimberly Harrelson needs to be the agent that you contact first. She can help you with selling your house, cut through a bunch of that red tape, not waste a bunch of your time, and get you the most money. When you get ready, get in touch with my girl, Kimberly Harrelson. Go to Facebook, type in Kimberly Harrelson Next Home. That's Kimberlee. Boom, it'll pop up. Kimberly Harrelson Next Home Realty. Their office is located right over there on Old Fannin, right in front of the bowling alley, or right in front of Fannin March, should I say. Actually on Old Fannin there. And just let her know you heard it here on the Clay Edwards Show. She also has a website with all of her listings, KimberlySalesMS.com. All right, I want to thank Mr. Jim Thorne. Brought me in some updated numbers here with, 85. Actually, I think, So, yeah, we got the same numbers here. All right, but thank you, Jim, for that. Yep, so as of right now, Cassidy is still in the lead with 47.8% of the votes, with over 1,000, almost 1,000 more votes than Guest. It's a close one, man. This is why we say every vote counts. I'm getting some more texts on the Guns and Gear text line. Other people saying they had to do an affidavit ballot also. And we did get a text here on the Guns and Gear text line. It says, what is the argument being made by the Guest team saying Cassidy lied about things? First, I've heard of this. And my understanding is that the Guest team is upset over the accusation that he voted to fund Planned Parenthood. And Mr. Guest's rebuttal, if I remember correctly on it, is that it was attached to some other bills to fund the military, the government funding. So look at that however you want. A bill to fund the military apparently also funds Planned Parenthood. So that's the nexus of the argument there. Let's see here, man. We got some more questions on the Guns and Gear text line. It says, if there is to be a runoff, then I will bet that Michael Guest finds a way to cheat. It could be like when Chris McDaniels ran against Thad Cochran. They got Democrat voters to help Cochran win. Yeah, I mean, look, I don't know that that's necessarily cheating. It goes against the spirit of it, you could say. But I wouldn't surprise me if the GOP goes that route too. Wouldn't surprise me at all. I think I said that earlier in the show, actually. Oh, all right. So that's got us caught up on the text. And it said, another text here says over $1.1 billion went to Planned Parenthood that on the bill that Michael Guest voted for. Yeah, that's going to be a deal breaker for me too. Yeah, that is definitely going to be a deal breaker for me. There's January 6th, money to Ukraine, and money to Planned Parenthood. Those are deal breakers. Now, I believe that was Chris that called in a little earlier. To his point, with all that said, I will still vote for the Republican in the general election because the Democrat's going to vote for all these things too. So it's a damned if you do, damned if you don't. That's why it's important to get an American first candidate like Mr. Cassidy in there. So we're not having to pick the worst of two evils. That's what's got us into this mess. All right, man, on the Mac Hike of Flowwood phone line. Hey, caller, you're on there.
Hey, Clay, I would have never dreamed of this, that we'd be sitting here. Normally, because that seat right there, the Cummings normally stays in it. And that seat's normally a stepping stone for for Senate. So I got news for you, man. If he wins this, I will be very shocked. But if I was Michael Cassidy, if I even have to go to Walmart and buy me a bicycle, I'd be going to Mar-a-Lago and get Trump to make me a few stops. And that'd be the nail in the coffin for Michael Guest.
Yeah, Kim Wade brought that up to me last night. I hope I'm not stealing his thunder here, but he mentioned that Trump is going to be in Memphis here in a couple weeks, that it would be a very smart business decision for the Cassidy team to have him swoop down into Mississippi and do a campaign stop for him. Or at least
Trump has a few people on his payroll down on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. I know that for a fact already.
Yep.
So that, and I'm gonna tell you, Stephen Palazzo, man, he creeps by, but barely.
Yeah,
we're tired of these career politicians, man.
They are. I said it on Facebook last night. I said, regardless of just looking at how it was playing out last night, even if Guest had pulled it off with more than 50%, I think it is an awakening for these establishment guys that we the people are mad as hell. We want better representation.
And I think people are getting out and voting more because they know that other election was stolen in 2020. Yep. And I argue people that up and down. I'll take that to my grave.
Me too.
There's no way. If Trump lost Georgia, then David Duke's head of the NAACP. I'm sorry, it just didn't happen.
Same for Arizona.
They took every kind of mail-in ballot without ID, without anything. Normally they throw out 6 to 8% in Georgia on mail-in ballots on average election. That's their average. This past 2020, they took everything. They threw out 33 in the whole state. So, take it how you want. That election was stolen. I'll take that to my grave.
Amen, brother.
Have a good one.
You too. Great calls this morning. Thank you all so much for lighting up the Matt Hike and Flowwood phone line. Thank you for lighting up the Guns and Gear text line. This show is at its best when you guys are the captain of the ship. Just want to say thank y'all. On the Guns and Gear text line, it says, what if those billions sent to Ukraine, some earmarked to the electric car manufacturing? But that got me to thinking, what if we, I know giving people free money is what's got us in this mess, but while gas is at $5 a gallon with no end in sight, no ceiling in sight, what if you gave people some gas cards? It's an Americans, the taxpayers, the people that actually flip the bill for this nonsense. What if you sent us a little stipend, help pay for that gas? What if you injected some money into the gas business to bring the crap down? I don't know. Look, I'm not an economist. I'm just a blue-collar guy that knows it's costing me way too much to live. The cost of living is going up. And I can't stand to see money go overseas. I'm not a fan of churches doing missionary work overseas. I am a true American first individual. I hate it for people that have been dealt a bad card. In third world countries, I'm sorry. I hate that. But we got bad stuff going on here that concerns me and affects me, Clay Edwards, more than you not having clean water in Ethiopia or Ukraine or wherever else. What about us? What about us? What about me? Fed up. But let's see here. I'll tell you what, let's take a break real quick because I want more than 2 minutes to close out the show. You're listening to The Clay Edwards Show. We'll be right back on 103.9 WYAB. Back into The Clay Edwards Show as we get ready to land the plane for the day. What a great show, man. I knew it would be. When I woke up and saw that the race was too close to call. I was like, it is going to be lit up in there today. Hey, real quick, man, if you guys are going to be stuck at work for lunch, you're not going to have time to get out of the office today, or hey, you just don't want to get out of the office today. You want to stay glued to the computer, keep up with the selection stuff. That's what us junkies do, right? We got to stay by the computer. I implore you to check out Take a Break Deliveries. You can order online at takeabreakdeliveries.com or download the app from either any of the app stores. Just go Take a Break Deliveries, locally owned, veteran-owned food delivery service. But there's so much more than that. You can get beer, you can get food, you can get whatever you want just about delivered by Take a Break Deliveries. Top-notch customer service. They wait on the food. The food doesn't wait on them. It's always hot. It's always fresh. It's always on time. Check them out online, takeabreakdeliveries.com. If it's the first time ordering, use the promo code capital C Clay 601, get $4 off your delivery fee. And when you download the app, they send out daily promo codes to save $3 or $4 a day. So check them out. Take a Break Deliveries. All right, in closing today, again, great job to everybody out there. People can talk about a low turnout, this, that, the other, whatever. I don't care. I'm talking to the people that got out and voted. Great job letting people know that you've had enough. You've had enough. And we expect better representation of our Mississippi values. You know, I go to this breakfast every first Saturday of every month, the Rankin County Republican breakfast out of McLean's. And Mr. Guest has been out there, and he's spoken a few times here lately. I want to say I've seen him 3 or 4 times here lately. And the thing that I just keep going back to, based on my day-to-day interactions with the public and the people I talk to, and I get that maybe I live in a bit of an echo chamber. I try not to. I really do. But most conservatives here in Mississippi, and it's especially in Rankin County, do not support this attack on the January 6th patriots. We do not support this Democrat committee to punish these individuals. They don't. I don't know how Mr. Guest thought that would be a popular vote back here in Mississippi. I'll never forget when it went down. I was like, what? I thought Mr. Guest was a conservative. I mean, that was honestly... Never mind all the 4 years of all the rhinos and Trump. That was the first time that I felt attacked by a rhino and betrayed by a conservative was Mr. Guest voting for the January 6th committee. I mean, of all the other things, that was the eye-opener for me. That one hit home. It really did. And then here lately with sending all the money to Ukraine, that can't skew well. I mean, are you just looking at social media and saying, oh, they got a Ukraine flag, this will be popular. Oh, look, there's another Ukraine they stand with Ukraine. Another billion, they stand with Ukraine. Put Chokwe's name on it. He stands with Ukraine. I don't feel like that really skews well in Rankin County. Or in District 3. Look, he only won Madison County by, I think, a couple hundred votes. So it obviously don't skew well in Madison County either. There may be people who say they stand with Ukraine, but I think when it's just them in the room, they're sitting down like I am right now. So anyway, just food for thought. That's Clay's opinion. I don't claim to be the smartest. I don't claim to not be crazy. Any of those things. I want to appreciate you guys, or thank you guys for tuning in this morning. Jim Thorne is up next, followed by Mike Madison, Dana, Jameson Haygood, and the showstopper, the main event himself, Mr. Kim Wade. I know he'll be very opinionated about all this. The podcast will be available here shortly. Just go to clayedwardsshow.com or download it from your favorite music streaming or podcast streaming platform. I will see you guys back here tomorrow with Anson Walker.
Thanks for listening. Tune in tomorrow at 7 a.m. as the Clay Edwards Show discusses all that is going on in and around the city of Jackson.
This concludes our broadcast day.
Right here on 103.9 WYAB.